think in 2 minutes time we should start. If they are there or not, I hope they'll be joining. Evelyn is afraid. She doesn't want to be lost, and Faith, that's good today. Rehab, can I hear you? Yes, that's fine. Thank you. So we will start. Today we are looking at job design. After we last time looked at, let me not mention the topic. I want to find out. So we lost Evelyn. Rehab, which was the last topic? Job description. Was it? Someone else? I want to confirm. Job analysis. Okay. Same class. Another one. Should hear job specification. Hmm. Okay, Rehab. Okay. So I believe it is job analysis. Today we're going to look at job design, maybe to find out if there's a question from any of us on what we did last time. So Rehab, you missed the class for job analysis, huh? Job, now job line comes in after job analysis, which we did a line. Oh, okay, sorry. My screen is not yet shared. Please find out on what we did last time, Rehab, if indeed we did job analysis and you are aware. We looked at the methods where we looked at the methods such as interviews, interviews, observation, which other one? Log records. We looked at questionnaire, panels. You go by what we call the panel of experts. Yes, panel of experts, and many other methods. So please check on that and review for yourself. Today, our study will be brief. It will not take long. So we will be focusing on job design, and job design follows or comes in place after job analysis. I had shared them earlier on so that you can have a look at them on my side. I'll try to share them in advance so that you can have a look at them before we start and then get your views as we move down the line. Even the tasks, I've already posted them, so your work will be just after this. If you've not done them, you work on them. This helps so that if I don't start the class exactly on time, you have something to do. Yes, I wish to go on with job design, and our main focus here is to look at what job design is, the different approaches of job design, and then we will be winding it up. So ladies are good with the designs. I understand, so they know which is which, that which is current, that which is not working, and that which can be upgraded. Men at times everything is okay. So when it comes to the job, I believe that and you learn there, or you are coming up with something and we are developing place better than what is already there. So in our case, my screen share seems to have a problem. I'm not sure why. So in our case today, I need to add increase my volume. Okay, let me increase and see if it's fine. Oh, that's so high on my side. Um, is it okay now? Those who are not, who are straining to hear me? Okay. So let me go back to this so that we can finish it and allow you to proceed with other tasks in the portal. Job design, as I've mentioned there in the screen I've shared, logically follows job analysis. And job analysis, we said, provides job-related data. Remember that was the topic we did previously. Provides job-related data as well as the skills and knowledge expected of the incumbent to discharge the job. Now, who is an incumbent? Or what does the term incumbent mean? What does the term incumbent mean? Incumbent, what does it mean? Do I go ahead and give a name to give me the meaning of the word incumbent? Or you call it incumbent? Maureen, what is the meaning? What do you understand by the word incumbent? Or if you call it incumbent, I think it should be incumbent. Or any other person apart from Maureen. Okay, it seems everyone has gone mute, so I'll proceed with that. So incumbent is the person who is holding that position. The person in charge of that position is the incumbent. So that is what we mean that job analysis provides job-related data as well as the skill and knowledge expected of the incumbent to discharge the job, the person discharging the duty, the person in charge of that office. That is the incumbent, the person currently performing the task. And while job design here involves organizing tasks, duties, and responsibilities into a unit of work to achieve certain objectives. So there are certain objectives that you desire to achieve in this case. And now, further, the definition, it said that is the process of deciding on the contents of a job in terms of its duties and responsibilities, on the methods to be used in carrying out the job in terms of techniques, systems, procedures, and on the relationships that should exist between the job holders and the supervisors, the subordinates, and the colleagues. Very um, lengthy explanation there. Someone with the responsibility or duties, fine. That's okay, Fahma. So job design, we said, is a process of deciding on the contents of a job. What is it that should be part of that job and not in the other job? So there's job A, there's job B. What should be in job A? What should be in job B? And this is based on duties, responsibilities, to enable you discharge or carry out the duties well. So you even have the methods to be used in carrying the job right. The systems. What are the systems and the procedures? What is the relationship that should exist between the person, the incumbent or the job holder, and the supervisors and the subordinates, those who report to you, and your colleagues, those who you could be working with on the same line. So that is what we have under job design. Thank you, Najib. Further, the main objectives of job design are two. It is to integrate the needs of individuals. You have to integrate the needs of employees. And number two, you look at the requirements of the organization. What are the requirements of the organization? And remember, the organizational requirements are generally less pay, they don't pay you much, productivity must be high, technical efficiency must be technically reliable, and you give quality. Those are expectations from the organization. So as we do the design of the job, this is supposed to be ringing in our minds. The needs of employees, they need to be satisfied. They need a challenging task. They need jobs that are interesting. They need to achieve. They need to be well paid. All those fall under job design. So these are things that you need to focus on as you even design the job for the best uh, in the organization. So it should be benefiting the employees. At the same time, it should be benefiting the organization or the employer. Some of the approaches or methods that are used in job design are: one, work simplification. Work simplification. Now, in work simplification, or under this method, the job is simplified by breaking it down into smaller sub-parts. So there's a breakdown. It's like what we used to refer to as specialization and division of labor. So there's a specialization and there is division of labor. So you break it down into simpler parts. So I can't be a doctor. You go to an hospital, you find there's a doctor, general specialist. But you go further, you find there's someone who deals with maybe the ENT specialist. Or you go further, you just find someone who is dealing with the skin only. Or someone is dealing with only the eyes. So you're breaking it down. Yes, I'm a doctor, but which area am I specialized in? 1, 2, 3. Or someone, only one area. And that is what that person does. Anything beyond that area is referred to someone else. That is not when you simplify it. And therefore, each part of the job is assigned to an employee who does the same task over and over again. Over and over again. Sometimes I meet my students who tell me, are you still teaching entrepreneurship? And I'm like, when was this student here? I go back to the old days. I used to teach the unit. Are you still teaching this unit? And I said, no. Oh, how comes you didn't graduate all that time? So this is what we are looking at. By that time, I was entrepreneurship. I used to teach this and that. But then I've narrowed down. As time passes by, I've been coming down. And today, I am purely in HR. And as I move further, I'm moving further away from the HR and going into deeper HR. So, and that is what we are looking at. So tomorrow, if you find me not teaching sourcing and I'm teaching another unit or another HR level, then it's just because of the breaking down. So you are in that same area over and over again. That is what we call work simplification. Make it be as simple as possible. Job simplification, therefore, involves: one, mechanical processing of work. Mechanical processing of work. There's a lot of mechanical aspect of it. Number two, repetitive work process. So there's a repetition. You keep repeating, as I've mentioned. Remember, when you're specialized, the eye specialist will just be eye. So you just deal with the many issues that relate to the eye. So much, but then there are very many. If you specialize in it, then you find there are so many of them, and you also keep learning in the process. Then there's working on only one part of a product. Yes, you don't measure on many, just one part. And then there's predetermining tools and techniques. But now in this level, it doesn't require so much in terms of skills based on what we are looking at in organization. So it may not require so much, especially in the lower level of the organization. So you could be an employee and you are the one dealing with only deliveries and you deliver only using the motorbike. Someone could be a driver and is delivering things maybe in a certain route, only one route. You are specialized maybe in Nairobi West, you are specialized in Westlands area, or you are specialized in eastern side of Nairobi. So that, or maybe whichever parts, it could be Mombasa Road. So that is very important, so that you get to know that area so much. However, some of the advantages is that it enables employees to gain a proficiency and fitness in doing a repetitive work. So you more proficient, you understand it well, you don't struggle with it. Next, it increases the workers' productivity. Employees' productivity increases, and when your productivity increases, then profit of the organization also goes up. And lastly, training costs of so simplified jobs are virtually nil. So you don't have to spend a lot in training. If you have to train less, but then if you don't desire to train, then the person will already be skilled, so you don't have to spend so much. However, when you keep doing one job too much, then there is boredom. In my case, I may not say I'm bored, because the key thing I like is that I get to meet new students every other time. So when new students have new challenges, and challenges, I mean they have their own challenges, and they challenge me also as their facilitator. So it's very critical. When I meet this group I have here, I see the way the proactiveness and how people are, willing to get some knowledge and information. It challenges me a lot, and I like that aspect. So that is what we're talking about. They tend to remain um, frequently absent, especially when, sometimes some of us don't want to do things repetitively. So they're like, if I'm going back to the same thing, then I need to stop, or I need to do this and that. Boredom, doing the same thing, same place, no change, you can easily be bored. So you must find a way out not to be bored by venturing into new areas and also getting challenged. That is the first one, job simplification or work simplification. Those who have joined, we are looking at job design, and we have looked at the first method or approach there, which is job or work simplification. And the next one is job rotation. Job rotation. In job rotation, that's from the word rotate. We derive this from the word rotate. It's one of the methods that helps us to do away with the boredom. Remember, in job simplification or work simplification, we've said there is the boredom part. So to do away with this or to manage boredom, then you bring in job rotation. So shifting or moving an employee from one job to another without any change in the job. You're moving an employee from one job to another, but you don't necessarily change the kind of a task the person performs. I would be a security personnel in town campus, then I move to Ruiru campus. I would be accountant in town, I move to Ruiru. I move from town Kitale branch. So you'd find that so that is very part. Job rotation is key. Like in my case, I was so comfortable in town until some point I was told, now we need you also in main campus. I was like, main campus, I'm okay with town. And see, we are always comfortable in the same place sometimes. So when I moved to main campus, I realized it has its own challenges, but again, I liked it because of the ambience or the environment. It's so cool, quiet. We're in our own environment. We control those who come in, those who leave the place. Every place has got its own environment, its own advantages. So the boredom can be done away with. You move from one to another. You're not meeting the same students. I remember there's a time I was handling how many students. There's a time I handled 3 units in one student in the last semester. And I had to request my student and ask them if they're comfortable, because to me that is too much and I'm dropping some units. But no, Malim, let me just go on with just go on. We are okay with you. Later, I handled the same whole semester, well ended, but I was like, no, this is not fair. handling 3, I'm almost a class master or class teacher. I was like, no, 3 would be too much. So imagine if you're handling 3 of them out of 5, and one student just hates you. You know, someone can hate you with reasons, but someone can just hate you for their own reasons. Or, you know, I don't know if you've ever heard someone saying, I hate that person with passion. You know, even hate people bring passion. So they just hate. They hear your footsteps. That is the time they even know your footsteps. And the hate just comes in. So in that case, it's very critical for us that as we look at this, boredom is done away with. You know, that's the good thing of this, so that you don't handle, you know, one person too much, and other go. It doesn't work out very well. That's why sometimes I drop some units. People like Rehab will attest that I decided to drop counseling unit, and which I used to handle 3 of them in Maine. Um, at some point, I had to like, no, let me drop and take another person's unit, and then the person pick mine, at least for the balance, which is very critical. Then it broadens employees' knowledge and skills, so your knowledge widens. You know, how do you handle customers? You know, there are different customers you serve. Customers are in Kitale, customers in Naivasha, customers in Bungoma. They will be different. There'll be difference in terms of even their knowledge, skills, their wants. So you will know how to handle different customers, broadens your knowledge and skills, and employees become more competent in several jobs rather than one. So if there are some of the jobs, by the way, when you go to another place or an area, you may find the jobs are a bit widened. Yes, you are still in the accounting, but something little is added into that accounting of yours. There could be that part of customer service you're extending. You know, so the customer service is away, or assistant person is away, you stand in for the person. So you come to understand more about it. You are designing the job, you're making the job be more attractive. So that is job rotation. In job rotation, can employee perform different job but the same nature? Some of the jobs have got different titles. Just like some of you calls us teacher, whoever, some of you call us a lecturer, whoever, some of you say that's my tutor. This is, I am still delivering the same thing. I'm still teaching, but someone prefer to call me lecturer, someone prefer to call me teacher. So most of our tasks may not, our main job description may not be different, but we are still doing the teaching and delivering. So that is the case for the essence of this. Just like even an accountant may move to go and teach, you are teaching the same thing, you're practicing. But the main thing I'm looking at is moving from one job to another, but of the same nature. So the nature must be the same. The tasks, the equipment you're using, all this should be the same, except that maybe the environment changes, the kind of personnel you are serving changes, and therefore you learn how to survive. And by the way, this is very important. When you are flexible to move from one area to another, you can easily be promoted if there's a vacancy. You can easily fit. If we are closing one branch, like we've seen task is closing one branch, and therefore, if you are saying that I can't move to this place, then it is easy for you to be dismissed. But if you're one who had moved somewhere else and you knew how things work there, it's easy for you. You can easily be considered in another department. So it's secure. It's very important for those who are flexible. And that's why when employers are recruiting, they always need to know your flexibility. That tells a lot. And periodic changing of jobs can improve interdepartment cooperation. You can easily interact with different departments so that you know how they operate and how things operate. Again, that is very important for us. One thing I learned is during customer service week, I learned a lot where I would decide and now go, I'm no longer a teacher, I'm going and be a chef and go and serve staff members. I would move from there, go to be a librarian and serve my students. Though that is a wider part of it, but moving from one department to another, or one area to another, and meeting different people, you strengthen and you understand their challenges, they understand you, and you bring your heads together and things work out. However, job rotation may be a challenge or may experience some challenge. One, frequent shifting of employees across jobs causes interruptions in the job routine. That happens. That frequent change. There are people who feel like, oh, that person should not have left. Oh, me, I'm now not motivated. Oh, this and that. Those happens. Employees may feel alienated when they are rotated from one job to another. We are told now we are taking to a branch in Lodwar. or in this in beta. Some of us may not be comfortable. Some people may not be comfortable. They feel like, why me? Why am I being moved? Next, the employees who look for more challenging assignments may still be frustrated. It's not that much challenging. You're doing the same job, so it is not yet challenging. And the basic nature of the job remains unchanged. That's why we are talking about the nature remains the same, jobs of the same nature. Okay. The third one is known as job enlargement. Job enlargement. Now, job enlargement involves adding more tasks to a job. Simple. Adding more tasks to a job. However, you do not need to stop there. You must extend it further and say that it involves adding more tasks to a job horizontally, or horizontal expansion in a job. So this is well, in our high school, that's where we could be told. In high school, we are not so much punished. Primary school, where you are told by your teacher to go horizontal. When you are told to go horizontal, you know what is going to happen. And one of our teachers was some of our teachers were kidding us like it was their hobby. The students of today, or people of today, are lucky. The caning was common. You were told to lie on the desk, and you are caned until I remember one day they caned you in the stomach. That's the pupil was being caned lying on the desk, and it turned, and still the teacher was caning, on the stomach. And these are things that are happening. It's very key that we be careful, even with this. So I'm just bringing the aspect of enlargement, to enlarge, to expand things horizontally. So if you look at this, we're still trying to do away with the boredom that comes in Lydia. We're looking at job design, and here we are looking at the approaches or methods of job design. And here we've mentioned now the third one. The first one we said is a work simplification. The second one, which is the same as job simplification. The second one that we've looked at is job rotation, and now we're looking at job enlargement, which involves horizontal expansion of a job. And this one means you add more tasks, you expand the job scope, you give a variety of tasks to the job holder. The example you'll find there. Now, what happens in this, as we expand the job, we want to see enhanced customer satisfaction, we want to see less errors, we want employee to benefit and be satisfied. However, as you expand the job, sometimes it may also give a relief briefly. It may not be long-term benefit to employee. So that is job design, and we are under job enlargement. And under this job enlargement still, you could find as an example, we have an example you'd find we have a receptionist and secretary's job. You bring them together. You bring the two together, so you expand the scope of this person's task so that they have more tasks to do. Yes, you find them, you feel more satisfied, you're handling more clients now, more customers, but as much as it has got its advantages, it also has got its limitations. Some of the advantages is that it reduces monotony and boredom. When doing the same thing over and over again, some point in time, monotony, boredom comes on board, so it reduces it reduces it. This is what we've been battling with all along. We want to reduce it and reduce it completely, and as we move to the next one, you'll find that we shall have reduced it. Then it helps increase interest in work. You get more interested and you become more efficient. And then by adding more tasks, duties to a job, you'd find that you may not require new skills and abilities to perform the task. So you'd find yourself safe because it's just a matter of it being horizontal expansion. You're expanding the job horizontally. However, there is no time increase of the job. You are doing the job of a secretary. Now you have been given the one for a receptionist, yet your time is still the same. There's a lot of work that's added. Much time is needed, yet they don't add you more time. And sometimes they may not even increase your pay, as much as it may be expected. Though some companies are fair enough, they will bring that. But some, if they're struggling with pay alone, they may not bring that on board. They may not bring pay on board. You know, most companies today are struggling with finance issues. And lastly, and large jobs require longer training periods as there are more tasks to be learned. Yes. If you have been seeing your colleague doing it, or you've been handling it, but in an informal way, you can easily fit. But if you haven't learned it before and it's something that is brought abruptly, then it means you will require time. You'll have to be trained, and that means much time and finance will be expected or required. The second last, so that we get to close our winding up. Second last is job enrichment. The job enrichment briefly is vertical enhancement of tasks. So job design, so the job enlargement is to enlarge horizontal implement of tasks, while job enrichment it will not interrupt it further. Okay, I'll proceed if you can hear me as I sort out the others. Fine, so this is job enrichment. And you've said that it involves designing a job in such a way that it with greater autonomy, providing employees with greater autonomy. So that autonomy part is very important. They can plan, they can control their work, so you become fully aware of your tasks and you perform them in the right way. Job enrichment involves adding motivating factors to a job, and people like Frederick Herzberg, you read more on them, explains more on this. We have Frederick Herzberg, who explained the two-factor theory, so please read more on that. And at the same time, we have the advantages on job enrichment. Now, job enrichment, as I've mentioned, the degree of control that employees have over their job. When you are left by your employer and you are trusted by your employer and you are allowed to discharge your duties without interference, then you are right. Then this is fine. You make employees be motivated. You look forward to improve quality and performance. There's that satisfaction. Then that is the job that you desire to do as an employee. For employees who are here, employees in future who are here, it seeks to improve tasks, efficiency, and human satisfaction by building into people's jobs a greater scope for personal achievement and recognition. And that's what Hasbag is talking about. So I challenge you to read through Hasbag in his case. And also it benefits employees and organization in terms of increased motivation, job satisfaction, they are involved, and therefore it reduces absenteeism. Remember, when we're looking at the first one, there are chances of absenteeism because they're doing the same job all over again. But now at this stage, absenteeisms are handled and managed appropriately. So that I finish in the next 2 minutes, there are some limitations. If employees are lazy, Theory X and Y mentions that some employees, especially Theory X, says that employees are inherently lazy. Mohammed, someone has interrupted me. Let me see, Mohammed. Mohammed says he can't see me. Mohammed, I'll pause before you want to see me, so give me. You may not see me, so okay. I'll be winding this session shortly because I hope it will come back or come. Fine. So just to wind up, I'm finishing in the last part. The limitations: if the employee is lazy or does not give due attention to his or her job, then this job design will not work out. The cost of design and implementation will also increase, because when you motivate employees, it means you have to involve a lot um, in terms of finance. So that is management. Please read through. Okay, you can type as I attend to your question. Yeah, there was a challenge with as soon as whenever someone calls, it interrupts everything in my system because I'm linking both my phone and my laptop. So I always desire my don't call, especially students should understand this. Any comment or question? Autonomy means you are fully in charge. You are fully in charge and you carry out your task. So you own the job. That means we trust you with your job and we understand that you know what you're doing in terms of skills, experience, and the motivation. Reb, is that okay? Rehab, is that okay? Or Rehab is not with us? Again, ensure you check on the portal. Yes, Evelyn, that was my challenge. I believe we've covered everything that was expected of us. So even if the interruption came as we were winding up, the common change aimed at enriching job is just to satisfy employees. Lynette, I'm sure you can hear me. Is that the case? There are those who want to see me. There are those who want to hear me. There are those who want both. So those who are still there, if you have a comment or question, you can still throw them. As I've mentioned, Najib, it's a matter of making jobs be satisfactory to everyone. So job satisfaction is the key part of it. So it's not just the main reason, but to enrich a job is to make it be more satisfactory to employees so that they perform well and lead to profitability of the organization. Okay. So that is all. Let me end it there. I'm sorry for the challenge with my net. What I wanted to pass through, I've already passed. So I'm glad you came. You were part of this session, and we look forward to enrich other sessions also as we move on in the spirit of job enrichment. Thank you all. Have a blessed day. Kidogo. Okay. Now, can wind this up. Mm. we are free to exit. We can go to the portal and carry out the tasks there. You're still free also to engage me even away from this.